Welcome to Resilient Voices, the podcast for leaders, founders, and humans who are done pretending that strength means never struggling, and for the leader who are ready to lead with clarity, courage, and purpose. I'm your host, Jessica Schultz. I'm a leadership coach. I'm an HR strategist and someone who believes deeply that the most powerful thing you can do as a leader is to know yourself. So in this podcast, we explore what it really means to lead with resilience through honest conversations, real stories, and practical tools that meet you where you are. Resilient Voices exists because I believe deeply that the most powerful thing a leader can do is to tell their truth about what is hard, about what is uncertain, about what actually it takes to keep on going and to keep on growing. And today, I want to tell you a story. A real one I haven't told many people. It is an important story to share that needs to be told. So a few years ago, I stepped in a role as an interim HR manager, part of the senior leadership team, sitting at the table, and within weeks, I knew that something was deeply wrong. Not wrong in the way that things are sometimes just messy, not the normal dysfunction, not the growing pains. Wrong in a way that was quiet, calculated, and dangerous. The CEO, on the surface, charismatic, confident, compelling. The kind of person who commands a room, who makes you feel in one moment like you're exactly where you're supposed to be, and in the next moment like you are nothing. I watched it happen to people, to good people, to capable people, people who started to shrink, people who stopped speaking up, people who began to doubt themselves, not because they were wrong, just because they were being made to feel that way. Fear was the management style, manipulation was the strategy, and the culture was slowly being destroyed. One conversation at a time, one meeting at a time, one person at a time. And here I have to be honest with you, I was interim, which means I was not permanent. I was not building a long-term career here, and I had no personal empire to protect, no political ladder I was trying to climb. And I remember the moment very clearly, sitting in my car after a particular brutal leadership meeting where I'd watched someone be publicly humiliated for asking a reasonable question. And I thought, if not me, who? Because here's the truth. The people who'd been there longer, they were scared. Understandably, they had mortgages, they had history, they had relationships they were trying to protect. But I had something different. I had nothing to lose. And sometimes that's exactly where courage lives. It's not in the absence of fear, but in the moment you realize the cost of staying silent is greater than the cost of speaking up. So I made a decision. I was going to do the right thing, whatever it took and however long it took. And I want to be completely transparent because I think we can romanticize these moments. We talk about courage like it's a single decision, one brave moment, one conversation, and then just a resolution. That is not how this went. This took 6 months. 6 months of difficult conversations, 6 months of documentation, of gathering evidence, of going to directors, of involving the board, of being questioned, of being doubted, of moments where I generally ask myself, am I wrong? Am I the problem here? Am I seeing something that isn't there? Because that's what manipulation does. It makes you question your own perception. It turns reality into something fluid, to something uncertain. There were meetings where I walked out shaking. There were nights I lay awake running through every conversation, every decision, every word I had said and heard. And there were moments I wanted to walk away, to just let it go, to tell myself it wasn't my responsibility. But I kept on coming back to the same questions. What kind of leader do I want to be? Not what kind of leader is safe, not what kind of leader is comfortable, what kind of leader do I want to be? And the answer every single time was the same. the kind that does the right thing, even when it's hard, and especially when it's hard. And 6 months later, the CEO was removed. And I want to tell you that moment felt like a victory, like a vindication, like everything was suddenly okay. But the truth is, it felt like a big exhale. Just an exhale. Because by the time that happened, I was exhausted, genuinely, deeply exhausted. Not broken, but emptied. And that is something I don't think we talk about enough. Doing the right thing does not always energize you. Sometimes it costs you. Sometimes it takes from you. Sometimes the most resilient thing you do is also the most draining thing you will do. And that is okay. Resilience is not about being unaffected. It's not about being strong at all the time. It is not about walking through fire and coming out on the other side without a scratch. Resilience is about knowing, even when you're depleted, that even when you're running on almost nothing, why you are still standing, and being willing to rest and refill and come back. So the leadership nugget from this story, what is it? It is what I want to give to you. It's that courage is not the absence of fear. Courage is deciding that something matters more than your fear. And resilience, the real resilience, is not just about surviving the hard thing. It's knowing yourself well enough to do the right thing, even when it costs you, even when no one is watching, even when the outcome is uncertain. I did not know how that situation would end. I did not know if the board would listen. I did not know if I would be believed. I did not know if it would work. But I knew this. I could not sit in that room, watch people be diminished and do nothing. That was not the leader I came here to be. And this is my question for you today. Where in your world are you sitting in silence when your values are asking you to speak? What is the conversation that you keep on avoiding because the costs feel too high? And what would it mean for your leadership, for your integrity, for the people around you if you had it anyway? That is radical responsibility, and that is leading above the point of power, and that is resilience in action. Thank you so much for listening and being here today. And if this story landed for you, if it stirred something, I would love to hear from you. Just send me a message, leave me a comment, share this episode with a leader in your world who needs to hear it. Because the conversations we're willing to have with ourselves and with others, what changes organizations, and that changes lives. Until next time, keep on leading with courage, keep on leading with heart, and remember, resilience is not a destination. It's how you travel. And it's not about being unbreakable. It's about knowing how to come back again and again and again. And until next time, take care of your energy, lead from above the line, and remember, you're more resilient than you think. I am Jessica Schultz, and this is Resilient Voices. Thank you, and I will see you soon.